Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about the latest album to be released by Ken Carson entitled X. For those who are not familiar, Ken Carson is a rising star coming from the current rap scene in Atlanta, Georgia. In 2019, he signed to Playboi Carti's own record label named Opium. And when Ken Carson first hit my radar, this must have been back in like 2021. That was when a friend of mine put me onto his debut album entitled Project X. Shout out to my boy Rocky for sharing that with me. His sound struck me as interesting, like a cool blend of rage beats and just raw potential. It was very clear to me that Ken was just kind of getting into the groove of things, just kind of trying this thing out to see where it goes. That was my impression. His sound is not quite what I would call unique, as it is very clear that he's part of a wave that we're still in the middle of. And now he hits listeners with his sophomore album, X. This album does feel like he's refined his skills as a rapper as well as a singer, and it is a step in the right direction. A lot of people have called him one of Carti's clones, and I I do see and hear the similarities, and I would like for him to kind of prove that wrong to be wrong. And I feel like this album is getting a little bit closer to that, but it doesn't really quite hit that mark. The album itself is a total of 20 tracks, sitting just under 20 minutes in runtime. As always, I'll be offering my thoughts and highlights as much as I can for this album at least, and starting with the first track entitled Intro. The instrumental features a smooth blend of crispy synth chords and a syncopated lead that plays a simple melody. We've got 808 style drums, and I like the rhythmic elements that the kick carries. I'm specifically referring to the triplets that we can hear in the kick drum. Ken's vocals are in the center of the mix, and I would say they are the center of the attention as a result of that. His vocals are pretty okay, and the same can be said for most of the album. Thematically, this song serves as a great introduction to where Ken Carson finds himself in life currently. He's been on his grind for a couple of years, and he's starting to go places. His lifestyle has adjusted accordingly, and now he's gaining attention, fans, money, and a slew of problems that come with all that. Track number 2 is entitled New. I love the fat ass kick on this instrumental. It's just thick, it's really big. The hat and clap samples mesh well in the mix also. The background accompaniment consists of crunchy synth chords that have a ton of movement in pitch, as if the chords carry their own melody. Ken's vocals also carry their own melodies, and I like the way that his voice sounds on the mix. Thematically, Ken speaks on the new material wealth that he's obtained through his success in music. Track number 3 is entitled Gems. I enjoy the movement in the synths here. They move in a carefree manner, and it's the beat that keeps them anchored in that movement. We've got a deep 808 kick that sounds great also. Thematically, Ken speaks on lust and being able to act on such impulses, and he also speaks of wealth and what sets him apart from others. Could be other rappers, it just could be others around him. It's up to the listener's interpretation. Track number 4 is entitled Nobody. The instrumental feels dim here, as if the lights have been turned down to their lowest setting. All of the synths rumble, and you get hints of them throughout the song, but they're really subtle. The drums are nice, and it's Ken's vocals that I would say carry the song. His vocal delivery is a bit strange, but it does sound interesting. I'm not really sure how to feel about it. But there's certain parts that do feel really weird. Thematically, Ken raps about not needing anyone or anything in this world. He's content with keeping himself afloat and just earning his money. I think my favorite line in the song sums it up. My fit match my glizzy, I cock it back and blick it. Track number 5 is entitled Go. The instrumental consists of a synth pattern that constantly moves upwards in terms of pitch, its notes. Certain sections feature bubbly synths and effects, which is a lot of fun. This song leans into a more turnt direction, but I feel as if it could have gone harder. I think the instrumental could have been tweaked to give off more energy. I mean, it's clear that Ken wants to kind of lean heavily into that like rage beats type of aesthetic, matching well with like what I would consider to be this modern wave of punk music. And I feel like this song just could have been a bit harder. Maybe the drum samples could have hit harder. Maybe the synths could have been more distorted. I don't know. But anyway, track number 6 is entitled MDMA, featuring Destroy Lonely. The instrumental for this song is crazy. There's giant distorted kicks and synth chords that make for a crunchy song that goes down like a bag of sour warhead candies. The synth patterns move in wild ways, as if we've got 2 or 3 distinct arpeggios, layered on top of each other, and they're all moving in different directions. It sounds really awesome. Contemporary artist and label mate Destroy Lonely hops on this track, and I've got to say there's strong vocal chemistry here. All in all, it's really just a wild track about guns, money, women, and living life in the fast lane. Track number 7 is entitled X. I love Ken's voice. I love the way it sounds on this song, at least. I think it's due to the vocal melodies, as his voice does move in interesting ways. The instrumental features crunchy synth chords and a deep, deep bass on the low end of the mix. Thematically, this song feels like Ken is making it clear to his listeners that he's grown up since fans might have first met him. It's clear to me that he does still have some growing to do, but it is a process, and this is just another step in that journey. Track number 8 is entitled PDBMH, which stands for Please Don't Blow My High. I love the energy on this instrumental. The intro feels like it's like a jack-in-the-box that's being wound up just before everything pops out. I like the chord progression on here. It feels like it's constantly moving upward. I also like the movement in the drums. We've got stuttering kicks, hi-hats, and crispy snares to match. It's real rock star shit. Thematically, Ken speaks about his struggles with drugs. He depicts them, or at least his relationship with drugs, in a positive and light manner, describing how they're just part of his daily routine. I wouldn't say he's glamorizing them. It just kind of feels like he's describing what his day-to-day life is actually like, and it's just part of his routine. Track number 9 is entitled Money Hunt. The instrumental is playful, featuring buzzing chords and syncopated percussive synths. My favorite parts of this instrumental are the wispy synths that feel like digital birds poking around on the mix. The energy is so nice. It's like we're watching a garden teeming with life. It's really beautiful. It's a simple and lighthearted tune where Ken is describing his desire to just chase his money. Track number 10 is entitled South Beach. This instrumental is like a cave level of a video game. The intro is dark, mainly consisting of dim and crunchy synths. The drums are syncopated well and complement the synths perfectly. Once Ken's voice joins the mix, we can hear some whistle synths that feel like they're bit crushed. And I love how the song feels like it's just ripped out of a Sonic soundtrack of the Sega Genesis era. Thematically, Ken compares his current emotional state to what it's like. He's kind of at the top, so it's almost as if he were LeBron James in South Beach. He's at the top of his game. He just feels like he's coming into his own. Track number 11 is entitled Going Skits. This instrumental is really bright, like some neon lights. The instrumental has a ton of movement, from the crazy hi-hats that are stuttering all over the place to the synth arpeggios that are just kind of floating from one thing to the next. There's also a lot going on here, and it's very smooth. It all meshes pretty organically, which makes for a track that does actually stand out, which can't be said for every single song on here anyway. Thematically, Ken uses this song to show, in most simplest terms, how little he cares about the things that most people would worry about. Track number 12 is entitled Same Thing. The deep bass kick on this instrumental does steal the show for me as a listener. The instrumental also features busy synth patterns that are short and they're just moving all over the place. It's like a bunch of buzzing melodic bees on the song. Thematically, it is a diss to anyone that's spoken down on Ken Carson, like a reaffirmation that he means business and he's not messing around. Track number 13 is entitled Freestyle 1. The intro features, oh my god, he's on X Games mode, that sample from that viral Vine, and I thought that was hilarious. I'd say this instrumental is more subdued in its tonal accompaniment. The drums are full of movement, featuring snare rolls and stuttering hi-hats. And there's also these cool samples of like bullet casings hitting the ground. Like if you've ever shot a gun, you know exactly what that sounds like if it's landing on a hard surface. And it sounds cool in the mix. Thematically, Ken reflects on his current place in life. He's definitely feeling like he's on top, and he's enjoying the success that he has found. Track number 14 is a follow-up entitled Freestyle 2. This instrumental is incredibly distorted, and I've got to say it is beautiful. It's like my body has been reduced to white noise when the song plays. The synth chords are buzzing like some McDonald's Sprite, and the drums are just pounding the shit out of the speakers. I'd say this is one of the stronger of the two freestyles, at least. His flows are more consistent, and his voice just fits the instrumental better. My favorite lines from the song are just crazy as we hear Ken rap, "Send 100 shots out that rolls. Hey, them 762s got him. Them 762s hit his body, make him Harlem Shake. That is just insane to me. Track number 15 is entitled "Fuck 12." This instrumental feels grimy, like it's up to no good, which is apt for the title. Yeah, I love the staccato, plucked elements, those synths, and there's also some smooth whistles that add melody to the beat as well. The whole song is really just a middle finger to police departments everywhere, almost as if Ken Carson were using himself as like a metaphorical taunt to police departments and what they stand for. So it is an interesting cut. Track number 16 is entitled "Murder Music," featuring Destroy Lonely. I'd say this instrumental holds the song back. It can get pretty repetitive, and its tonality does leave a weird taste in your mouth. I do, however, love the sliding, the bass that we hear on this song. It's sliding and it peeks through the instrumental in minimal moments, which does make it hit harder. Thematically, the duo come together once again to deliver more bars that are on brand for each of them as artists. Track number 17 is entitled "Delinquent," featuring Homicide Gang. This is a colorful instrumental featuring solid 808 drums, spicy synth arpeggios, and plenty of bars, all in all a catchy tune. Thematically, Ken speaks on his life as a youth, what it was like for him as a child growing up, and how that's influenced his current mindset. Track number 18 is entitled "Get Rich or Die." I love the panning in this instrumental. The synths are bouncy and glitchy. They feel gated and they feel like they ripple around the beat like water would if you were to drop a rock into it. There's also a tiny high-pitched lead synth that's like a tiny whistle. It sounds really cool. Sums up the theme of the song best during the chorus, where we can hear him rap, "I was starving, they ate in my face. Now you know how your medicine tastes. This is a marathon, this is not a race. I'm just trying to find my pace. I get rich or die trying every day. I get money in all kinds of ways." Track number 19 is entitled "Turn Up." I think this is my favorite song on the whole album. It's got great energy, and its simplicity does make it a song that I can listen to several times without growing tired of it. We've got a fat kick drum that gives the track its bump, and in the background we've got laid-back synths. The fun synth chords repeat a main melody throughout the song, but because it is a solid melody, the song as a whole just works. Thematically, it's also pretty simple, as Ken speaks on how important it is for him to flex. He's found success and worked hard for it, and it's key that he can have something to show for that success. Even if it is material wealth, it's still a sign of him making it, him doing what he wanted to do. And we conclude with track number 20, entitled "The End." The instrumental here is pretty solid. It features sad synth chords, fluttering synth arpeggios in the background, and a deep 808 bass line. The main beat is also catchy, and it just keeps everything together. Ken's vocals probably sound the best on this song, as he sings more on this tune. Lyrically, it is a simple song, as Ken sings of a relationship that he previously had high hopes for. He believed it would be a lasting connection, but unfortunately some of the best bonds in life can be short-lived, at least. Overall, I would say this was an okay album. I didn't have the highest expectations going into it. I knew that Ken had recently signed to Opium Records, so at the very least, I expected some high-quality instrumentals, and I do think that most of the album delivers in that department. But he's not the most lyrical rapper, so I was curious to see where he would take the album. It's clear that Carson is still finding his footing and developing his sound, and I'm just wondering where he'll go next. Because up to this point, his music has all felt kind of samey, very similar from song to song. I'm afraid that if he doesn't continue to grow, his success might become short-lived. Only time will tell, really, but this album does feel like a step in the right direction, as I said before. It's got some high points, and it does have some low points. Because the album is on the longer side, I can't help but wonder how many tracks could have been cut out. I mean, it's 20 songs. I'm wondering how many songs did get cut from the album, if any. I don't know. And as it is, it does feel a bit bloated. But all in all, I would say it was a pretty good effort from Ken's team. I think they deliver, at least in terms of energy, for sure. I mean, that's kind of what I feel like I would turn to Ken Carson's music for. But anyhow, if you've sat here and listened to me talk about Ken Carson and his album X, I really do appreciate that. I appreciate you taking the time to do so. And if you've got some music that you would really like to share with somebody, you can send that my way. If you want some feedback, just let me know. I'm more than happy to provide that. And it's Fall is coming right around the corner, but it's still hot out there, so remember to stay hydrated. And also remember to mask up. COVID is still out there. Stay safe.